Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Today's the return of the League mode in FC 25. You might remember during the Foot Fantasy promo a couple of months back, we had the Fantasy League that gave us pack rewards, evolution rewards, and most importantly, that road to the final Odegaard and Fantasy Mycon as some big player reward items. But it's coming back today for the Foot Immortals promo, and it's bound to make some waves, just like it did last time for the rewards that are pretty good. We have the leaks for that, and also on the market. Guys, last time random lower rated players were sky high in price because there were specific requirements for this league, and I think it's going to happen again today. So we got to take a look at the leaks and get prepared to the market for probably a pretty interesting day on Sunday today in FC 25. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Let's get into things about looking over yesterday's Saturday content. And guys, Saturdays can be encapsulated with one word almost every single week: mid. We have a new rush mode here in objectives. Foot Immortals play rush, and this might be the most in-depth rush mode that I've ever seen. There are so many objectives in here to complete. Probably get them done just easily by playing, but 120,000 rush points is a lot of rush points when I believe right now none of the modes, the two rush modes here, give you the double rush points. That is really frustrating, and that's just a lot of work to get done unless you enjoy playing rush at the moment, just squatting up with the lads and hitting a few rush games for the fun of it. I think that right there is going to be something that I may not fully complete just because I don't think the pack rewards, even you get an 85 double from that, I don't think the rewards from that may be worth the time that you have to put in to get all those objectives done. That's just my personal opinion. So let's go to evolutions and cover what's next here with the Jack of All Trades 2 evolution that dropped. This is the exact same Evo, by the way, that dropped last Saturday. Just instead of the right wing cards, it's for the left side of the pitch. And guys, just like last week, I feel the same way. There's not many cards in my club that I really think I want to add left back and center mid position to in an evolution that doesn't give any playstyle pluses. If I put in an 85 rated Nuno Tavares objective card that I'm still holding on to, he's a 92 rated card with one playstyle plus. Now granted, this Evo does give some good stat boosts and it makes some really crazy cards because you just have the huge defensive boost here, you have the positions added, and a lot of regular playstyles added too, and some roles. That I do like, but I think for me, I just look at my opportunities to evolve somebody here, and unless I already have a left back with two playstyle pluses or somebody with two playstyle pluses, this Evo just doesn't really do it for me, to be completely honest. And especially because it boosts the overall rating so much. If you put an 81 or an 82 rated player into this, I think it boosts the rating all the way up to 91. I mean, yeah, this is where it could be useful for a card with two playstyle pluses that would be given extra positions and potentially evolvable in the future in a really interesting way. And that's just kind of a crazy looking card right there, right? But I will mention this. Just remember some of the Evos that we had earlier on in the year, like the Evo that gave Ronaldo center mid position. This could be one of those that if you have the right card, yeah, you're going to a 92 rated, but you're giving them extra positions that could make them evolvable through different Evos in the future. That's just something to think about with these Jack of All Trades Evos. But once again, like we said last week, that kind of just feels more like shapeshifters than the current Immortals promo. Now let's go to SBCs, where we only had one new SBC yesterday. It is the Sawa here. She is 5-star, 5-star, also 5'5", and she's got 3 playstyle pluses, exactly as leaked. Queen Sawa, the big sis version with really good stats, and of course, always OP in game. I mean, look at some of those in games: 98 short pass, 97 long pass with the long ball and the tiki taka. You got pinged and incisive regular, low driven regular, quick step, relentless first touch, and technical 2 with the press proven plus on there as well. Box to box and playmaker plus plus in both positions. That's a good card. It is. We know how good Sawa is. The Winter Wildcards this year has been crazy. Of course, we think back to last year in Team of the Year. Her SBC was an iconic one for sure. 11 squads seems a bit steep. And it seems a bit steep for a card, especially for me right now, where I just spent 500,000 coins of fodder and a lot of work grinding up to a new center mid Become Immortal evolution. I don't know if I want to do this SBC for my club at the moment when it doesn't feel like a step up. This, for a lot of us, probably feels like a lateral move, unless you really want the 3 playstyle pluses and you really want to use Sawa. I'm trying not to take away from that because this is going to be a good card. Absolutely go and try the loan for the 83 rated squad and give this card a try. But for 1,000,000 coins, I mean, you look at the upvote, downvote, it's kind of 50-50. A few more downvotes and upvotes, 1,000 to 1,000. But I think there's just a lot of hype around Sawa and how good her cards have been. But yeah, the price is kind of the biggest thing getting in the way. And also, if you compare to a Billy who is in packs right now at 130, 140,000 coins, her stats are not too dissimilar from Sawa. And even the playstyle pluses aren't too dissimilar either. And the regular playstyles, she's 4-star, 5-star instead of 5-5. But 130k versus 1 million, that 900,000 coin difference. Is Sawa going to be that much better than her in game? That's kind of the situation that I see there. I will definitely try the loan out though, but I will say this too. With all the icon player SBCs that are out right now, once again, it is a great opportunity to just craft one, even though they're not like super insane, super cheap, but it's the opportunity to get a Eusebio, to get a Sawa, to get, maybe you're still working on the Rude Hullet, Thierry Henry, same thing. The opportunity to get an icon that you're probably never able to use for most of the year right now, still a good chance to go out and do that with all the icon SBCs available. So I do like that we have opportunities in that section in terms of crafting. Now, speaking of SBCs, we think about fodder. High-rated fodder is just kind of chilling, right? Last night we looked at 91 rateds and they were just around 40,000 coins. They still are at the moment. A couple of them had got undercuts here at like 38 to 39, but most of them are 40k. 92s, most of them are 57 to 58, maybe down 1 to 2k a card. But I think if you invested in 89s, 90s, or 91s, you're feeling all right because these SBCs that have been released haven't been that great. Eusebio and Sawa, right? Eusebio's got the big name appeal. Sawa, kind of that much, but not as much as Eusebio. But the fodder prices have not really gone down that much. They've dipped a little, but then they kind of came back up as we've seen. So I think you keep holding in lazy listing because we still have more icon SBCs leaked to be coming out. But we'll just have to see where those prices go. They probably will dip a little bit today. We'll talk about fodder a little bit later related to a new icon player pick coming today most likely. Maybe an investment opportunity there. But if you have high rateds, I keep lazy listing them up. Now, also, when I take a look at Team of the Weeks, I just spent a bunch of coins going through the market and bidding on Team of the Weeks. I started my little investment that I wanted to do. I keep buying duplicates. That's the problem. I keep bidding on these Team of the Week cards for like 10 to 11,000 coins. And I already have one in the club, and I forget that I already have one. That's what I'm trying to do with Informs right now, is bid on them and stock my club. We've been talking about this for the past couple of days. Like now, today, yesterday, and tomorrow is action time. It's time to get in and start bidding on these Informs. I would definitely say I already have most of these, but make sure you get one of the 88s and 89s, basically club stock this whole Team of the Week. If you have like over 1 million coins, that is, club stock the whole entire Team of the Week. If you have like less than 500k or 300,000 coins, then I would just do a few. I wouldn't go super crazy because once again, this is a long-term investment, but I think this is prime time to get involved, and then the waiting game begins. That's why I don't want to take up too much of my transfer list space as we approach Team of the Season and stuff like that. I want to have this space available for other cards, other investments, and other extra things that we end up packing and stuff, and I want to put most of those Informs in the club. So speaking of the market, let's talk about these FUT Immortal Team 2 cards, because yesterday we did have some good trades. I don't know if any of you guys followed along and made some of the investments and flips. Buffon went from like 430k up to 480. My biggest flip of the day yesterday was Rodrigo. Bought him for a nice undercut of 1.95 and sold him for 2.3. That's like 230,000 coins of profit there. The Wayne Rooney card that we bought for 730 ended up selling him for 850. But a lot of these cards have dropped a lot, which is normal for a promo team on a Saturday. From a Friday to a Saturday, they drop usually a good bit. Team 1 last week didn't drop that much, but Team 2 absolutely has, and that has made, like, look at Buffon. He's 320,000 coins now when he was 480k earlier in the day. Jarzinho's dropped 1 million. Billy's was 190 at one point. She's now back down to 130. Mateus was 1.7. He's 1.3. So, as expected, you're seeing a lot of these cards drop off, but the rest of the market still doing pretty good. Like, look at Blanc, 900k at the moment. Zambrata is still up. Zanetti still up big after going out of packs for Team 1. So Team 1 and a lot of the other out of packs cards in the market, like the Dream Chasers and stuff like that, they are still maintaining pretty good prices and they're great to trade with. But I do think that could change today, guys. Let's start talking about why with the Immortals League. Yes, that's the big story today. I think that's going to really be the biggest part of content today. And the reason why we think it's going to be today is because the FUT Immortals Cup expires. Sunday is also the most common day, either Sundays or Mondays, where we get a new league or a cup mode. And speaking of league modes, EA has already told us that this is happening. Not necessarily today. We're kind of using our other ways of deducing content on this game to guess that. But they have told us that the week 2 of Immortals, which is right now, delivers the Immortality League with special rewards included in a golden goal mode. And again, they use the words here, Immortality League, which kind of brings up some memories of the fantasy league that we had a few months back. Now, first, let's take a look at the rewards for this league and the leaks. What will we be chasing through this mode? 36 games has been confirmed here by ASY, which is very similar and almost exactly the same. It is the exact same as the fantasy league that came out 2 months ago where we were chasing MyCon and stuff like that. It's golden goal, right? EA said that as well. And Baby Maldini, this Baby Maldini that we thought was going to be an SBC, is the actual group reward. Now, that is a amazing card to get as the final reward of an objective mode. So you play the game, you get wins in a golden goal mode, which sounds more like a cup than the league did last time. We're going to talk about that. And you get a 92 Maldini. I'm absolutely down for this. He also says that some evolution consumables and some big packs are part of the rewards as well. That's pretty common. That was how the last league mode was. And we'll hope that their evolutions and the packs from this new league mode will be very good as well. So, a lot of hype for the rewards, specifically Maldini. Hopefully, there's a couple other player SBC, or not SBCs, but player rewards inside of this as well. The question that I'm starting to ask is this going to be like the Fantasy League, or is it going to be more like a cup? Because it's a golden goal mode, that's a lot different than this. Back in Fantasy FC League, where we had 36 games, and however many games we could win out of the 36 that EA gave us, that's how many rewards we got, right? You had to win 30 of 36 to get MyCon. You had to win 20 of 36 to get Road to the Final Odegaard, and the packs got better as you went up the league. But a lot of us, I think, liked this league mode, even though it was sweaty. It was different because the rewards were good and they were worth chasing after, but it was also kind of fun because you weren't using your main team. You were using cards that were lower rated, not just because, I mean, well, we had to. There was the requirements that you had to use lower rated cards, and that just kind of felt fun because it was like, hey, what else do I have in my club that's not my main team? It was a kind of fun way to like look back on players that you used months ago. Like, I haven't used this Pedro Neto card for a few months. I could have evolved him, but didn't necessarily feel like I wanted to. This is a great SBC during the numeral foot promo, but now he doesn't get into the main team. I used to use this John Stones, 258 games played. Doomfreeze, 136 games played. Some of the new icons that I haven't necessarily used yet from the little bro Immortals from Team 1, they could be very useful in this league mode depending on the requirements, but that was one of the things that we liked about this mode before. And the question is this time, what are the rewards, or what are the objectives going to be requiring here for us to complete this? What is going to be the squad requirements for this Immortals League mode? Now, this is the requirements last time for the fantasy mode, but we've moved on in the game from now. We've gone up in the power curve. Players are now higher rated than this. I think EA is going to increase the requirements, just like they've been increasing requirements for the current cups that we have. Like, if you take a look back here, you couldn't use any cards that were 90 rated or above. You could use 189, you could use 288s, and then the rest of your team was 84s, 85s, and 86s. And that was one of the reasons why the market was impacted so heavy, because cards like this Chiesa went from 120,000 coins to 240K. Cards doubled, cards tripled in value, and went up, tons because of this objective requirement here, because everybody was going away from their main teams and like the cards we were using at that stage of the game, like 90s and 91s and 92s, and they were going back to this because the rewards were good and it was something fun and it was something different. Now, what are the requirements going to be this time is the big question, because at the moment, and as we've looked at cups recently that we've had, we were able to use 90s and 91s, and even in this most recent cup, 92 rated cards, but still you have to use. If you take a look at my team that I had pulled up here just a second ago, this is a team that fits the current cup that we have there. It's mostly 88s and 89s with 191 in here, but like that's kind of the team that you have to make. I think they're probably going to increase the requirements to something like this currently. Now, we don't exactly know the requirements just yet, but based off of what happened last time, I think it's worth investing, at least if you want to take the chance. if you don't have too many cards in your club, let's say you've been full sending the Hullet SBC or Eusebio and your club is really, really down bad, I think buying a few of these cards is going to give you a leg up before we get this mode out today. Now, obviously, the easiest thing to do is wait to see what the requirements are. If they go back to the super low rated requirements, cards like Chiesa, 85s, 86s, and 87s will go up, and 88s as well. But I think there's a pretty good chance that we're allowed to use 90s, maybe a 91, and then, of course, some 89s and some 88s. That's why I think some of these little bro cards like Mateus, like I'm not specifically investing in him, but that's a card that I could see as one of the best 90 rated cards right now in this game. I could see a card like this going up today. I could see a card like an 89 rated Vitinha, one of the most hyped 89 rated cards for Evolutions, sure, but he's not up that much for Evos. But that's a card that's very hyped, and he could be going up as a part of this. Or maybe an 88 rated like Reinders, right? If we used a lot of 85s and 86s last time, maybe this time it'll be a lot of 87s, 88s, and 89s. That's the sort of thing that I think we want to be looking out for if you want to invest before the requirements come out. Again, with how much cards went up last time, it is a risk because we don't know exactly what the requirements are, but if you buy a couple different cards, you're bound to hit at least one of them if you're doing some guessing correctly and kind of looking through the cards that are meta. The thing you have to worry about with investing in some of these cards right now and expecting them to go up is some of them are already very inflated. Like Gareth Bale. Are you really going to buy an 88 rated Gareth Bale for 700,000 coins to play in a cup with? I think that's a lot of coins to play in a cup with an 88 rated card where you can probably get another one that's just as good, maybe better. We know Bale's good, but he was 480k. He's inflated so much for Evolutions at the moment. That's what you have to be careful about when you're looking through some of these 88, 89, and 90 rated cards for this Evolution to invest. Kenny Dalglish, you guys remember this card during that Evo situation or during that objective. He went from 100,000 coins to 200k. Since he was an 88 rated card, and then we could use two of those, he was one of the most hyped 88 rated cards at that stage of the game. People are more apt to spend their coins on the higher rated attackers. So if we're allowed to have 91s, watch out for some of the most meta and cheap 91 rated cards that go up during this. That's kind of the thing you're going to be looking out for. So again, we don't know exactly requirements that we're going to see for this, but that's kind of the situation that we're watching for today. You can wait for the requirements to be actually posted in game. Maybe they get leaked today as well, and then you can make some action there. But this is going to be kind of a shift. If the rewards are good, that's a key part of it. If the rewards are good, though, that's going to kind of turn a shift on the market. People are not going to care as much for the next couple of days about their main teams, and they're going to be caring more about these objective teams, and that could actually make some of the other prices around the market drop. Like I picked up this Lautaro Martinez for a bit of a trade, and right now I'm going to try to sell this card for still a little bit of profit, but I was hoping to sell him for more than 500,000 coins, but I'm going to take that little bit of profit because I don't want to risk it. I picked up Jose Roberto on a really nice snipe of 1.8 million coins. I'm going to hopefully sell that card today because I think this is, it sounds crazy, but if people are not paying as much attention to the most high meta rated cards and they're going to have to go buy some other ones to build a team for this league mode, if the rewards are good, you know, I could see some other parts of the meta market, maybe some of the Immortals cards in packs right now, maybe even some of the Dream Chasers from last week, 2 weeks ago. I could actually see some of the prices dropping. So that is one thing I wanted to mention. There might be a bit of a shift in the demand, and that could hurt some other prices on the market. But the real key is, can we all get this done? And when I say that, I mean, is it a unlimited number of games to get 36 wins in a golden goal mode like a normal cup? Or is it a limited number of games and we have to get 36 wins to get the Maldini, or a certain number of wins? Is it going to be just like the MyCon fantasy mode, or is it going to be easier to complete? I hope it's easier to complete at this stage of the year. I hope it's not like the last league in that regard. But if the rewards are good, if the evos are good, and of course, if we have unlimited games, then this could really be a fun one, man. And it would be a joy to go back and use some of these older cards and mix it up a bit instead of all using the most meta possible teams all the time. That's what I also enjoy the most about this when it was dropped last time. So that's going to be the biggest part of content today, in my opinion. It's going to move the market. It's going to move how we play the game and what we're doing this week on this game. So keep a close eye out for that. Now, let's talk about SBC content today because, of course, if we take a look at our leaked list of players, we can check another one off the list, and that is Sawa. So the ones that we have left, we can also check off Maldini because he's an objective reward. The cards that we have left to see as SBCs would be Baresi, Zico, Mascherano, and Marcus. Alonso. Now, I don't know exactly who's going to be dropping today on Sunday, but I'd imagine that we'd be getting one of these. I'm going to guess Zico. That's just my guess. But again, either of those four could be today. Maybe one of them is a part of the league rewards as well. That could be something to see if it's maybe Mascherano, maybe Marcus Alonso is a part of those league rewards. That's something to watch out for as well as that drops today. But definitely getting a player SBC today. And also, it's a Sunday, which means our icon and hero player picks are going to expire, but they're absolutely going to be getting refreshed. And remember last week, the 88 plus icon actually included new cards in it with grassroots and the future stars. The only thing I think they could maybe change this week about the SBC is maybe just making it a little bit cheaper. If they make an 86 instead of an 87 rated squad here, maybe they take off the 88 and just add an 87 instead. That's what I would expect to see. Maybe just a little bit of change with this, but probably not too much. And if they do change it and make it a little cheaper, you actually might see some of the 87s and 88s move back up in price. Last Sunday, with the hype of this being a changed SBC, remember we saw cards like Endler and the 88s go from 7.5K up to 9,000 coins on Monday. I think if these cards are at 7,000 coins flat or even in the 6K range today during squad battle rewards, that could be an investment opportunity. But I think there's not going to be as much hype for an icon player pick unless they change something about it and make it cheaper. Because last week it was new, right? We had new players in it, so there's probably not going to be as much hype this week, but at least that is there. And if you want to try to make an investment on it, you could potentially do that. I wouldn't think it'd be super lucrative though. Now, other SBC content today, probably just a refresh of the normal stuff like the 85x3. We do have this Evo leak that's still out there, but every single day that this goes by without seeing the actual Evo dropped in the game, the less and less that I believe it's actually coming. You guys know how that goes, right? We talked about buying the center backs that fit into this. This is the third day now that we've been talking about this Evo. I still have 2 Rios that I bought at 230,000 coins. Shoot, he might be a good investment for the league, right? An 88 rated center back. People might be buying him today. Who knows? But that's the only investment still. I have one Rudiger as well that I picked up for 109 just because he fit the leaks for that Evo. That could be coming out today. That's the only Evo that I think is leaked at the moment. So watch out for leaks around that. And yeah, it's probably going to be the content today. I think it's going to be the league as the biggest part of content. Then we'll look at the SBCs and the Evo after that and see what kind of Sunday we're about to have on FC25. But that's going to be the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it, comment up if you have any questions, and of course, subscribe if you're new. I will catch you guys either in a video tomorrow or a stream today. We'll see. A little 50-50 on that one. But enjoy the day, guys. Enjoy the weekend. Good luck on the game today. If you're playing Weekend League, best of luck. Still, if you're opening your 90x5s, a lot of you have tweeted me after yesterday, after we talked about it a good bit. You know, you have some bad ones like this that people have been sending in. You have some good ones like this with a Beckenbauer and a Del Piero and a Musiala. Like, that's pretty sick. So I appreciate you guys sending those in. Keep doing that if you're getting that objective done. And please, EA, compensate soon so that everybody else who's waiting can get that one done as well. But that's the video for me today, guys. Have a great weekend still, what is left of it, and I will see you guys soon. It's been TheFutAccountant. Peace out.